Good afternoon, my dear friend. It's so good to see you again. Oh gods, you look quite run down. What did you and your doughty adventuring group end up battling this time? Gelatinous cubes. Ugh. You poor thing. What a twisted sense of humor. Doesn't sound like any wizard I'd like to meet. But that's Menzo Baranzan for you, I suppose. Anyway, you put that money right back in your purse. I wouldn't dream of charging you for this. No. I won't hear it. You are clearly in dire need. Besides, us tieflings have to look out for one another. It's fun to imagine you, though. The very second you're awarded with your shiny new coins, what do you do but rush over to my little corner of the Temple of Suni for some well-earned pampering? It's sweet of you to think of me. Come round to my parlor, and I'll work my magic. Let's just dim the lights. That's better. Sadly our poor Dominic is homesick today, so you'll have to come back next time to listen to him play. I know it's so quiet in here without his harp. Now, candles. We could always go with your favourite, if you like. We have some brand new scents that just arrived from our chandler in Waterdeep a few days ago. There's white tea and citrus if you're in the mood for something subtle, or the sage and sea salt one can be very relaxing, very green smelling. Makes you feel you're being cleansed. I've no idea how, but they actually managed to make a candle that smells of cedarwood, bourbon, and leather, of all things. Very masculine. I always feel like I'm at some beautiful rich man's fancy home bar. Oh, or there's this delicious lemon and golden syrup one. It smells exactly like a treacle tart, fresh out of the oven. I love it. I use that one in my personal chambers all the time. Or, as I said, there's always your favourite. I make sure to keep that one well stocked. Fine choice. Now, peel off that armour, and we can get started. You poor dear. We'll forego the brown sugar scrub this time, I think. You've been abraded enough as it is. You're just barely healed over, aren't you? That hip scar is looking better, though. You can barely see it now. I remember when you first came to me for it all those years ago, I thought, look out, Andros, this one needs your help. I've nothing but admiration for people who live like you do. I could never. Then again, I can barely tolerate camping. The mosquitoes alone. God. No, I'll leave the scrapping and hiking for folk like you who are made of sterner stuff. I think one of our mud wraps would do wonders for you once you've had a chance to wash up. Am I correct in assuming you've never had one before? They are wildly popular in Waterdeep. Oh, it's not as complicated as it sounds. After the client's bathed and dried off, I start by applying a thin layer of clean mud and essential oils to their limbs, back and chest. Then I wrap them up in warm linen towels and leave them that way for upwards of 20 minutes or so to give the mud a chance to do its work. The heat feels glorious, too. Perfect for tight and pinched muscles. Oh, of course, if the client is shy during their body wrap, I'll include a modesty towel so they can cover up. Poor little things. They don't realize that I've seen so many people naked. I've touched so many bodies, I don't even think about it much anymore. And since I'm a priest of Sunni, they expect nothing but judgment and scorn. It always hurts when people assume this life is only for glamorous people. It's not. Beauty is everywhere. It's never any one specific thing. It's our sacred duty to seek it out and revel in it as much as we can. We have had snobbier acolytes before who secretly laugh at their client's cellulite or the sight of a flat bottom or a pair of pendulous breasts. Recently, even. And let's not even start with the sorts of insults tieflings endure every day. Gods, if I had a copper for every time someone joked about smelling brimstone when I walked past. They were young and stupid. For their unfortunate lapse in character, I sentenced them to 4 months of scrubbing bird shit off the statues. When they've learned to appreciate the beauty of clean, sun-warmed stone, I may let them try working with people again, under supervision. My work is holy. We're here to help others feel seen, to praise and delight in what Sunni has blessed them with, and at the end of the day, I carry home memories of the pattern of freckles on a woman's back, or how an elderly fellow's brown eyes danced when he smiled, or an interesting birthmark. Gods, listen to me prattle on. You let me slip into one of my lectures. That's all to say that you and I are on past needing silly things like modesty towels, wouldn't you agree? Yes. The minerals in the mud also aid in healing, which I dare say you could use. During those 20 minutes, sometimes I'll leave the client alone for a little while, or if they'd like a facial or a scalp treatment during this time, I'll do that. Whatever they need. Then I unwrap them, and either they go have a rinse in the tub, or I wipe away the mud with some damp towels if they're feeling too indolent to move. Gods, I certainly was after the first time I had one. It was truly heavenly. Sounds appealing? Then we'll give it a try. I also prescribe a hot oil treatment for your scalp before we give your hair a deep conditioning. It's positively fried looking. But before we commence with the fancier treatments, let's get you into the bath. I'll help you step in. Let's see. For soap, we have coconut and shea butter with sesame oil beads for gentle exfoliation, buckthorn and orange peel to rejuvenate and hydrate your skin, or a simple scentless one, soft as can be. While you wash, I could put on those textured gloves you like and scrub your back and shoulders for a bit. Gods, what did you carry in that pack of yours? Boulders? It's like kneading a dense loaf of bread dough. I've said it before, but I do enjoy working on you, even when you're a little bit of a wreck. You're a wonder to look upon, especially your shoulders. I feel that I'm serving my lady well, revitalizing you and improving your looks. Not that you need too much help in that regard. I just enjoy enhancing what's already there. No, don't be silly. I'm not just saying so because we're supposed to say so. It's true. False flattery is a sin, you know. What if I decorated your horns one day? It's not something I've ever done with you before, but I'm feeling inspired. And so few tieflings ever set foot in the temple, it's rare I get the chance to do a little horn care. just a light polish, then an application of oils to bring out their natural colour and add some lustre. I can even paint them if you like, with lacquer. I've seen some stunning designs, and the shape and size of your horns are giving me such ideas. Mine? No, there's no point in decorating mine. Little nubbins that they are, there's not much there to work with, is there? And, to be honest, I'd rather not draw attention to them. Sometimes I think Suni put them there to keep me humble. After all, she's blessed me with a nice bluish complexion, long silky hair, amber eyes. So what if my horns are a bit small? There's no need to make that face at me. I'm simply acknowledging what's there. Or what's not there, in my case. It's one of our tenets that we regularly examine ourselves and our flaws. And we all have them. Anyone who says otherwise is blaspheming. Only our goddess can achieve true perfection. In acknowledging them, we can better know ourselves inside and out. You think they suit me? Well, aren't you the sweetest? You might be the only one who's ever said so. Well, you know how some of us can be about horn size. Usually the best I get is someone calling them cute or darling. And at worst, they wonder if I'm small in other areas to match. Oh, it's just a bunch of talk. I try not to let it bother me. As I said, we all have flaws. It's just, when you grow up with your own people constantly singling out a very specific, prominent part of you as strange or silly or puny, it can be hard to shrug off sometimes. Yes, especially when it's your own beloved mother gently telling you that your horns just aren't big enough for the really fun decorations. Well, that didn't stop me from trying sometimes, of course. My horns do lend themselves well to the daintier baubles. Unfortunately, unless you know a superb goldsmith who can craft tiny chains or small jeweled bangles, such accessories can be incredibly hard to find. And even when I do, my attempts at beautifying these tiny little protuberances just often look sort of laughable in the end. What was that? Apologies, I can natter on for hours about jewellery if you let me. What do you mean? There's nothing wrong with them. Don't be silly, they're not even sharp. It's all right, darling. You don't have to say stuff like that just to make me feel better. I know they're utterly disappointing. It's just a fact of life. Well, such a vehement response. I'll shush, then. If you like them, then I've no choice but to bask in your admiration. Don't I? It's comforting to know you're so fond of them. But right now, it's your body we're focusing on today, pet. Ugh, just look at the state of that bathwater. It looks like that new lime drink they have at the elf song. Shall we treat your hair before we start the body wrap? I'll grab you a towel. Here is your throne, my sovereign, and just let me activate the warming enchantment on this blanket. There. All tucked in. We'll start with a quick wash, and then I'm thinking an olive oil treatment would work best for your poor scalp. Just tilt your head back. Yes, the reason I mentioned torn painting is that our temple's monthly revel is coming up soon. If you have room in your schedule to attend, I think you'll really like this one. Its theme is celestial beings, in honor of your very own Selûne. It's to commemorate the services your moon maiden provided Suni way back when. We're encouraging Selûnites in particular to attend and enjoy an evening of magic and beauty and tribute. You know, all this time I've lived in the temple, and I never thought to ask how Selûne served Suni. I like to imagine they simply enjoyed one another's company during a troubled time. No, not like that. Well, maybe like that. Who am I to assume Suni wasn't looking for a kiss and a cuddle? They would make a pretty pair, wouldn't they? But no, I always imagine them doing, well, something not unlike what we are doing now. Sometimes it can get lonely in the bath. Perhaps Suni wanted company or someone to help her scrub her back. If I could afford it, I'd love to commission someone to make a painting or a statue depicting the night bright lady brushing our beautiful one's blazing hair. Perhaps they painted one another's nails and whispered secrets to one another like young girls. Now, the oil. Does that feel better? So cute. I love a good scalp massage. Lorraine gives the best ones. I learned all my tricks from her. Alright. Let's get your head wrapped up and we can move on to the mud wrap. There we go. Just make yourself comfortable on the table when you're ready. Yes, I know. The mud must smell eerily similar to the wetlands you just finished traipsing through. Apologies, I hadn't thought of that. I'm sure you've had quite enough of mud, but this will suck the tension right out of you, I promise. Where was I? Yes, the monthly revel. Party-goers are encouraged to dress according to the theme. Blue and gold colours are a must, of course, as is anything featuring stars or moons. I saw the most darling, shiny, comet-shaped brooch in the shops the other day that I actually thought of getting for myself. Sit up for me, dear. Thank you. That's good. You can lie back now. Let me just grab some towels. Anyway, there's no pressure, of course, but I'd personally be delighted if you attended. I know for a fact they'll be serving mooncakes and elverquist, and your company would make things truly special, I think. Oh, that reminds me, I had the most intriguing client wander in the other night. Yes, night. When he showed up, it was almost 9 p.m. I was almost done cleaning up for the day. I almost asked him to come back tomorrow, but I took one look at his face and I couldn't say no. Oh, snowy white curls, eyes like garnets, smooth porcelain skin, and the world's most endearing little frown. He tells me, "Darling, I've had an absolute bitch of a day, and I want to feel beautiful." The poor thing did look haggard, and his hands were so cold. During his manicure, I gave him a hand wrap to warm him up. Then I had him try this yummy new facial scrub we received earlier this month to help improve his circulation and hopefully lend some roses to that pale complexion. Well, by the end he still looked pallid under those breathtaking cheekbones, but he said I made him feel like a brand new person, so I was content. You know what the strangest thing was, though? He didn't want to look in my mirror. I'm not sure. But then he seemed in an awful hurry to leave. He was quite eccentric, especially keeping a schedule like that. Before he went on his way, he asked me if I'd like to go with him to this fancy ball that apparently Lord Cazador is throwing at the end of the month. I know. How a gorgeous thing like him ended up without a date is beyond me. I told him I'd love to go, but I was very busy with my temple's monthly revel, and attending 2 grand parties in 1 month is rather a lot, don't you think? I thought that would be the end of it, but he only smiled and said he'd rather have me all to himself. Then he kissed me and said there would be more where that came from if I wanted to meet him at the elf song in 3 days. I know. My face was a blueberry. I blushed so hard. Gods. He kissed like an incubus, but... well, there's one little reason that's stopping me. It's a secret. Perhaps I'll tell you after we're done here. There we are, anyway. All wrapped up. How are the towels? Are they warm enough? Good. If you're feeling sleepy, you can rest here a while if you want. I can rinse and condition your hair in a bit. Of course you can. I'll come check on you in a bit. Just go ahead and drift off. You look like you could use a little nap. Hello, my dreamer. It's time for you to get out of those towels. How are you feeling? Oh, that's good to hear. Truth be told, I was a little worried about you when you first came in. I thought the body wrap might help sort you out, though. Such a thin layer of mud. It might be quicker if I just gave you a wipe down. After that, we can finish your hair and we should be done. It's my pleasure to pamper you, darling. Now, lift your arms up for me. Promise I won't tickle. There we go. All done. You'd never know by looking at you that you spent 2 weeks trudging through a bog. Now, let's just unwrap your hair. Already looks so much better. Have a seat, and I'll get you through this part as quickly as I can. Oh, I know. Your arms and legs must feel so heavy. If you like, once we're done here, I could get a robe for you and let you rest on one of our couches, if you don't mind the slight risk of someone coming across you. It's a slow day. There shouldn't be many people about. Oh, no, nobody will mind. Wouldn't be the first time I arranged that for someone. Though, as drowsy as you're looking, it wouldn't surprise me if you fell asleep during your wash. That should do it. It shouldn't take long to dry the rest of the way during your walk home. It's a beautiful day out. If you don't mind, before you go, I might just give you a whisper of primer to make your face a little less shiny. Bit of eyeshadow to bring out those pretty irises, and... do you mind if I add some lipstick? No reason, I'm simply curious how it will look. truly, you're so lovely. I don't think you need the cosmetics, not really. I just didn't want you to leave yet. I've missed you, these past months. Terribly so. You did too. You actually had time to think of me while you were off protecting the realm. You sweet thing. Back there, when I said that I'd tended to so many different bodies so intimately, I didn't really think about it anymore. I was lying. Just a bit. This is terribly unprofessional of me, but I can't keep it locked in anymore. I never want to stop looking at you. Touching you. It's a delight every time. It's not just that you're a pleasure to work on, you're a pleasure to be with. God, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have told you that. If you'd rather work with someone else from now on, I'd absolutely understand. You noticed? Oh gods, was I that obvious? Oh. Good. I'm so glad you feel the same way. You're such a treasure. I would have gladly paired you up with someone else if that was what you wanted, but I would have been very sad about it. Would have eaten my weight in chocolates. You're so sweet, but you'll mess up your lipstick. There goes all my hard work. But if you don't mind the makeup smudging, then neither do I. I find I rather like wearing your lipstick. I really should let you rest after all those treatments. You look so tired. Or maybe I'll just lock the door.